This is Stock Day. News and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on the OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a very special guest with us. It is Tim Kasmoch. He is the CEO of N-Viro International, trading under the ticker symbol NVIC. Tim, thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, Everett. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, tell us a little bit about the history of N-Viro International.
Yeah, okay, perfect. N-Viro is a 1993 public offering. It was an old Raymond James, Robbie Steven IPO. They launched the company based on its earliest patents, which was what I refer to as our base technology, which is that of N-Viro soil. N-Viro soil is a widely accepted technology within the wastewater industry. I mean, even today we're operating a plant in Tel Aviv, Israel, using the N-Viro soil process. The important thing about this is all of our technologies, whether it's N-Viro soil to N-Viro fuel, are all qualified and all meet the highest stringent standards by the U.S. EPA. In fact, N-Viro soil is even listed in the U.S. EPA documents as an acceptable process. So the point is, it's just a great technology. So through the 90s, the company worked to evolve this technology, to enhance it, to improve it. And we were successful in filing and still maintaining 13 U.S. patents, plus a suite of international patents for our technologies. And in the early 2000s, we started looking at further enhancing this technology into what today is N-Viro fuel. Our business predominantly works in the wastewater residuals. There's a tremendous amount of organic value in this product. It's a shame to waste it. It's a shame to throw it in a landfill. We have a process or a technology that can convert that material into a renewable alternative energy source.
So you take human bio waste and you turn that into energy.
That is correct. That's as simple as you can put it. It's a true, genuine waste to energy. It's a renewable source, and it's a renewable energy. So, we took this fuel process and I came into the company in 2006. I've been here for 10 years. I walked it up to Michigan State University. They have a captive power generating station right on the university's campus. And they use coal to generate the utility for the university's needs. And we asked them to test our fuel product. They did. It was monitored by GE Energy Services as an independent monitoring, and what we found was it was an absolute success. I mean, we improved their ignition profile, the product worked, there were no deviations to their power plant operations. So I really wanted to take this process into the commercial generating industry. So we set up a pilot facility, a full-scale operating facility. We permitted it under the rules of the state of Pennsylvania. We did some testing with some commercial power generators over there, and we found that our process works. So we went to the U.S. EPA back in 2011, 2012, because we were truly ahead of the regulations. It's interesting because we're taking a landfill waste and we're converting it into energy, and there really weren't specific regulations specific to what the company was trying to accomplish. So they came out with what was Rule 241, and we applied for a determination, and we received this determination for our process from the U.S. EPA, which effectually says we take a waste and we convert it, and we make it into a secondary fuel, and that secondary fuel can be used for power generation, etc. And we were off to the races. We thought, wow, we really got a great product here.
So not only are you guys using your product in the States here, but you guys are developing the product over in China too. When did you start thinking about going over to China and doing this?
Well, yeah, back when we were working on the pilot project, I've been interested in international development for quite some time, and the challenge I had with China was I just didn't know where to begin. It's a half a world away, and we had to make the correct introductions and associations into the Chinese market to get to get our technology recognized. We saw the China or even the greater Asia market as just a huge opportunity for the company. They're committed to waste recovery. They're committed to a clean environment. And the market over there is just potentially huge. So I had a great close associate, a gentleman by the name of Michael Burton Prattley. He's currently one of our board members. In fact, he and I started talking about this back in 2012. And we made some initial contacts. We had some resources that we were able to incubate, and that prompted us to take a trip to China to investigate the situation, and we came back with very positive results.
My guest today is Tim Kasmoch. He is the CEO of N-Viro International, trading under the ticker symbol NVIC. Now that you guys are over in China and you're looking to do some business over there, I understand that you guys have set up some sort of corporate structure directly into China. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, and really that's a huge commitment on the company's part. We wanted to look at how we could operate over there, and obviously building a corporate structure was the most sensible solution. So we started N-Viro Energy Limited, which is a UK-based company. We used Limited to raise some pre-development capital. They raised just short of about $300,000 to give us enough dollars to get over there and really pursue the China opportunity. And through N-Viro Energy Limited UK, we were able to form N-Viro Energy Limited Hong Kong. So we actually have a full operating company in Hong Kong, and all of this is 45% owned by N-Viro International. So I view them as our sister companies.
Well, on the structure, just explain that to me. You got a lot of different developments going on over there. How is that progressing, and where do you see 2016 leading N-Viro International when it comes to a commercial application in China?
Well, the Chinese development has been progressing, in my opinion, very rapidly. We came out early third quarter last year, September, October, announcing that we had secured some letters of intent with a number of Chinese entities. We're looking to long-term secure our arrangements directly with the provincial governments. We don't want to work business to business in China. We want to work directly with the government. Reason being, the government owns wastewater treatment. They own most of the processes. They're in control of this. We want our deals to be directly with the government. So we started working on developing these letters of intent into definitive agreements. The process is pretty straightforward. We had to supply a number of studies, and this would be very similar in the U.S. here as our permitting process. We had to supply China with a feasibility study. We had to do an environmental impact assessment, and we also had to do an energy report. Those three studies have been submitted, and we're awaiting approval. Once we have the approval on those studies, they get coupled with a application for approval that goes into the provincial mayor. The mayor approves the process, and then we can move forward on negotiations. We really think, at least today, I really feel very comfortable that we should be able to deliver this very shortly. In fact, I would expect by the end of May we can deliver all of these documents and be on our way to negotiating our definitive agreement.
Outstanding. Tim, you mentioned earlier you had to do a lot of reports, and those reports take funding. Can you tell us about how you plan on funding all these projects and reports over in China?
Oh, well, absolutely. We see my energies are specifically devoted towards protecting the market capitalization of N-Viro International. I mean, we have such a clean little company here. It's 8.6 million shares outstanding, less than 9 million shares outstanding.
Right.
So we don't want to dilute the U.S. company to execute on these projects in China. We actually want to be able to use the structure that we put in place with the UK and with the Hong Kong to use those entities to raise money for these projects. Yes, we are going to continue, and one of the things that I'm active on a weekly basis is looking at how we can continue to raise money into the U.S. company, and we've been very successful with that. We've kept very clean, very pure deals with money. So we really think, I'm extremely confident that we've got a great structure in place, and we're going to be able to protect these companies and develop this technology. And basically, I think we can source a tremendous amount of capital in the Chinese markets.
Very good. My guest today is Tim Kasmoch. He is the CEO of N-Viro International, trading under the ticker symbol NVIC. In closing, Tim, is there anything that you'd like to get out to our listeners that we haven't touched about that you would like to in closing?
Well, not necessarily, Mike. I think where we ought to leave this is there's so much that we have to talk about. There's a lot of great things happening in the company, and I think it's wise that we continue to offer these interviews. And I think we look at a program where in the coming weeks, coming months, we can continue to talk about additional developments as they occur.
Well, thank you very much for coming by and talking to us on the show today. And we will check back with you and your company in about 2 months.
Okay, sounds great. I'd love to do that.
Thanks, Tim.